Okay, you guys, we are recording. Welcome to the final class of the executive class 2019. I can't believe we made it to the last one. It's crazy. You guys are rock stars. All right, you guys, so I'm super excited tonight. We're going to be talking about the final chapters in GoPro, and those are my favorite chapters in the book, so I can't wait to hear what you guys took away from the book. And it very much matches up with the theme of what we've been, talking about with the executive class, meaning that, executive is a state of mind, truly, and it's act as if, and all of us on here are executives. And if we do the do and we do the work, there's no destination, there's no there. So I'm super excited, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to do a couple of things. And then Shanna Boggs is on here, and she is going to share tonight all of her goodness, just her tips and tricks of getting to executive and share from her heart. So she's absolutely wonderful. All right, you guys, so I'm going to share my screen. Can you guys give me a thumbs up? Can you guys see me? Can you see this? We're good. Okay. Awesome. All right, you guys. So welcome to the executive class. I know I just said that. All right. So tonight, you guys, we're going to talk a little bit of mindset, and then we are going to be going over chapters 11 and 12. And please be prepared to share some takeaways, you guys. These are my favorite chapters in the book. They pretty much say it all. It wasn't until the end of the book that I actually fell in love with the book when I first read it, I have to admit. But now I absolutely love it. And this is our final week. This is the last class where we're going to get together just for this class. But we will have more opportunities, I'm sure. And tonight, Shanna's going to share. So very excited. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead. Hold on. I'm going to make sure I mute people out before we do anything. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and do our affirmation, okay? So let's all close our eyes. Let's all close our eyes, and we're going to take our deep breaths that we've been taking. So we're going to take 5 deep breaths, and make sure you guys do this. I know many of us don't have cameras on because many of us are sprinting to executive, and that's fine, but take 30 seconds right now to stop what you're doing, put your pen down, put your phone down, and take 5 deep breaths. Okay, and I want you to keep your eyes closed once you're done breathing. Keep your eyes closed. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Let each breath get a little deeper. Keep those eyes closed, guys. Keep those eyes closed, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and read our affirmation. We've been reading this to ourselves for the entire time that we've been doing this. I am an executive. I attract executives. I am creating consultants with every enrollment. Everyone I meet wants to know what I do and how they can do it too. Keep your eyes closed, guys. Keep those eyes closed. I am an executive. I attract executives. I am creating consultants with every enrollment. Everyone I meet wants to know what I do. Okay? All right, guys, if you have not yet taken a picture of this slide, take a picture of it, write this on a piece of paper, and stick it to your bathroom mirror. Stick it in your kitchen, stick it as you go down your stairs, stick it on your garage door as you leave your house, stick it all over your house, you guys. This is your truth. This is your affirmation. With an executive state of mind, you are an executive. Okay, so while you guys were with your eyes closed, you can open your eyes if you still have your eyes closed. I pulled a card, and you guys know I've been pulling a card every time that we met. So I am centered in truth and peace. I like this one already. The universe is one of great order and peacefulness, and I reflect this in every moment of my life. Whew, I love that, you guys. We have a number of us on our team that are sprinting towards executive, because we have the date that is coming up. But you guys, being at peace with where you are and all that you've done and all that you're doing is the only place to exist. It truly is. And, just knowing that doing all the do and pouring everything that you're pouring into what you're doing, it's already happened. The time just needs to pass, and it's going to happen in the right time. You just got to trust the process. So that was a great card. All right. Okay, you guys, so here's some key takeaways that I have that I just wanted to share with you, just from the class as we've kind of been going through it. And actually, as I go through these, guys, can you drop your takeaways from the class in its entirety as a whole? Just drop them in the chat. Just what was your biggest takeaway from this whole process that we've been doing? I'd love to hear it if you can drop it in the chat. But, I was thinking about this and I was like, man, I really want to share with these guys, what's on my heart. And truly, you guys, executive is a state of mind. It's part of who you are. And I know I did a training the other week for, our whole team, the Have It All team. And, I talked about the cycle of growth and, allowing executive to become your identity is huge, pushing through that inception, deception, transformation and identity phase. And this is just who you are. This is just what you do. You are the top rank with Isagenix because of who you are and what you understand and who you share it with. And you're attracting executives, into your business, and if you do the do, you are an executive, and consistently in action, massive action, propels your business. So by consistently doing the do, sprinkling it here and there, your business is going to grow, but that's that massive push that really propels your business. And I can't stress it enough, you guys, you got to get to events. Executives get to events, leaders and Isagenix get to events. And, and I some of you didn't know me when I first started my journey with Isagenix, but, and that's probably a good thing, but I didn't see the importance of events until I got to one. And, now I can't say anything negative about events. Getting to events plants the seed of what it can be for you. And then getting your people to events, and once you get events, you feel to events, you get so affirmed, sharing that, with your people. So you guys, as we're kind of going through this, if you could just drop your greatest takeaway from this training in the chat, that would be awesome. So we can kind of talk about those too. So those are my takeaways from this class. You guys, it's just one of those things that, Stephanie started a great thing with the Chasing Greatness group. That was incredible. And she gave us all the tools. And now we've really just been kind of working on, affirming ourselves and going through GoPro and, just doing, this class, of what this really truly is. Okay. Why can't I go to the next slide? Hold on. Let me see if I can get, just a second, guys. That was really weird. Oh, my slide is up top. That's why. Okay. Sorry. My bad. Okay. All right. So you guys, like I said before, let's seriously GoPro. I do love this book. I mean, I love this book. You can see it's literally falling apart, and I've learned so much from this book. But the first time I read it, it wasn't until the last 2 chapters that I was like, oh my gosh, this book changed my life, and these are my takeaways from these 2 chapters, but please drop your takeaways in the chat, and then in just a moment we'll open up for discussion, but I'm just going to read through these. So from time to time, your income may take a lucky jump, but if you don't quickly grow as a person to that new higher level, your income is going to come back down to that level of who you really are. In the end, you only get to make what you are. And that, when I first read that, I remember when I very first read that, in the book, and I rereading it this time, I was just like, wow, that is just so true, and, being at peace with the process and what this is, and, knowing that I am a professional network marketer and so are you guys, and just saying that's who I am, this is what I do, all of the good things are going to happen no matter what we do, and my biggest takeaway from GoPro ever has always been the 1-3-5-7 formula. And that's, it's going to take you a year to figure out what you're doing. once you actually start trying. That was my biggest thing, because it basically took me a year to even start trying the right way. It's going to take you 3 years to replace an income, 5 years to become a 6-figure income earner, and 7 years to become a professional. And, I remember thinking when I very first read the book that I have 7 years to become a millionaire, but I don't have 30 years to be financially strapped, financially miserable, just constantly working, for pennies on the dollar with how hard I work. It's very difficult to look good and get better at the same time. I love that, because we have to practice, you guys. We have to do the sip and samples. We have to do the Zooms. We have to lead things and look like fools at times. And, Glenn and I were just talking about this, when we first started, we created this Facebook page that was a total flop. There were like 5 people who liked it. And that didn't work. We created a website. We never use it, and you just kind of have to try it out and see what's going to work for you. And, you're going to fail forward, but you're going to get better as you go along. And then finally, my biggest takeaway is it's all worth it. And, no matter how I put it, this is my takeaway. Isagenix has completely changed my life. So many wonderful people and experiences have come into my life because of this opportunity. And I can never discount all of the goodness that's in my life. And I just rest in gratitude for what this currently is for me and my family. And, and I'm at peace with knowing what it's going to be. So those were my takeaways from GoPro. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, you guys. And I see a lot of people dropping your takeaways in the chat. Thank you for doing that. But is there anybody who wants to share their takeaways from 11 and 12? Or piggyback off what I said? Anything? You can unmute yourself.
Melena?
Yeah.
I like this information on page 130.
Okay.
Which is make a plan, do your plan, review the results, make a better plan after you've reviewed your results, do the better plan and review. So it's a constant process of what are you doing, what can you do better, and keep plugging away.
I love that. I took a picture of that too today, Judy. I love it. It's cool. I like it too.
Thanks.
Good stuff. It's a good page, 130. Anybody else? It's the teacher wait time in me. I can wait. Come on. Anything that resonated, that stuck with you, feel free to flip through your pages.
Melena, I'm going to elaborate on what I typed in about the event invites.
Yeah.
I have been inviting people for a long time to events, but I have always kind of let it slide when they give an excuse immediately, because it's like, okay, well then, let me know when you can make it to the next one. And if we don't, until you pushed me, I didn't make it to my first ICU last year when that was in Philadelphia. And it was like, you got me on the phone with Casey, and you guys, you told me like it was, and it was like, what do you want from this? Until you make the true decision, like nothing is going to happen. And I need to start leading with that confidence that, and I need to tell my people that nothing's going to happen and nothing's going to change unless you guys make the decision, because I invite all day, but I take their excuses and go, it's okay, just let me know next time, and that's not going to work. And Eric Worre was saying the same thing. It's like, you got to be professional about your invites as well, push people on it. Why you don't have enough money? Like, how can we get the money by then? Or let's make a plan, and I need to be more official about this, because at this point, like, you get blow off after blow off. And I actually remind myself of your story, because you used to say, like Casey and Amanda would push you, and you would think, oh my gosh, they're so rude. They always say I have to get to an event. And it's like, well, then people might think that about me. But then when I get there, they're going to change their mind. So when they finally get to the event, then they'll be thanking me. But until then, I'm going to push them on it.
That's awesome. You're right, Tori. That is so cool. And I remember the last call that we did, or maybe it wasn't the last one. It was the last one that we did a book, because we didn't do a book talk, but Amanda Bresnan, I know you're on here. she talks about, how Casey is ruthless when it comes to getting her people to events. And Amanda is ruthless when it comes to getting people to events. And now I'm ruthless when it comes to getting people to events. Because it's like, you know what? You just don't know what you don't know. And you're not going to know unless you get there. And I used my children as an excuse for a year and a half, and now they're my reason. They're my reason for everything that I do. So, and I tell that to people, and I'm affirmed in it, and I know what this can be for people. So Tori, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. It's great. Anybody else? Oh, come on. Just do it.
Okay, I have to say, and I'm out of the shower, otherwise I would turn on my video, but nobody needs to see that. So, but I just want to say, not specifically a chapter or anything, but my belief was struggling following, a couple months of just inactivity and then coming back on it. And then my momentum was struggling. I was struggling personally. And this group, this community, all of you have lit such a fire in me that, all of you who consistently show up and, share your struggles that are similar to mine. And you know what? It kind of makes you realize that we're not so alone in this, and we're all kind of in the same boat. And meeting with all of you, I made the decision today that, and I know, Melina, I've talked to you before, that, we are ride or die, whether I die on the side of the hill of trying to get to executive. I am going to try my darndest to get there.
Right.
In doing everything possible. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you all for just lighting that in me. And this community has just been everything. So yeah.
Love it. Love you. You're awesome. So great. It's so great. Anybody else?
Melina, I'll share.
Okay.
I always have something to share.
Hey, Mai.
Hi. So at the end of the book, page 144, it talks about he has 5 bullet points, and they all start with "you'll learn." And man, have I learned. And doing a 30-day sprint, I have learned that it can be slow, and it has been slow for me. And yes, it's defeating, but I have to reel back to say what I have learned, what doesn't work, right? So just because it doesn't work doesn't mean that you stop. It just means you do things differently. You're learning what doesn't work so that you can do things that may work. So it's just a process of learning. You're never going to lose. You're just going to grow, or you'll learn.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so true. Like, you win no matter what, right? You learn, or that's it.
Yeah.
You learn or it works. You learn or it works, and that's it. It's so true, Mai. That's so great. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Woohoo. Anybody else? Anybody want to share anything that's not from the book? You guys all feel like I'm looking right at you, don't you? I love it. Okay. Okay. All right. So if nobody has anything else, you guys, thank you for your shares. That was awesome. Very, very cool. And, I definitely recommend, picking up this book every couple of months and reading it again, because there's new stuff in it all the time. And Eric Worre he's a god when it comes to network marketing. He really is. He knows what's up. And he coaches the best of the best in our industry. So, this is such a great book. So Shanna is going to share. I'm so excited. I'm going to hand it over to you, Shanna, and I know you're here. So if you want to go ahead and unmute. Okay.
Hey.
Great. Are you
Hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm so excited to introduce to you Shanna Boggs. I know many of you know her. She's incredible. Her and her husband, Joe, they, build Isagenix together, and they're just awesome. And they are executives on our team who have an incredibly massive team and just hearts of gold. And thank you, Shanna, for being here tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and let you take over. Okay.
you. Tell me if I get too long-winded if you need to stop me.
Okay.
Gosh, just those shares got me fired up because it's such a like put your blinders on and go. Put your blinders on and go. Like that's what you have to do. You just put your blinders on and go because like it's a marathon. Like it's not a sprint, although like sometimes we want it to be, but it's a marathon. So just go. Don't stop. So hi everybody. I am so happy to have an opportunity to share with you guys. If this can inspire even one of you to move forward and just to keep going, then it's worth it. So my heart's pounding on my chest because I feel like I haven't spoken to anybody for so long. So need more deep breathing. So I would love to start off a little bit with my story, maybe because I don't know all of you personally. So I'm just going to briefly touch on that. And I've been with Isagenix for 5 years. And when I started, I didn't know anything about the opportunity. I was about 20 pounds overweight. I was tired. I was low energy. I was napping. I had 3 little kids in 3 years. And I just thought all moms were supposed to be like this. And I was turning 40 right before I started Isagenix. And I know like hormonally, I was all over the place. And my husband, Joe, and I decided to do Isagenix together. He was about 40 pounds overweight at the time. And we were actually the classic like health conscious people. He's a chiropractor. Actually, as a second career, he went back to school. And we learned a lot about health and the body and how we should eat and what things that we should put in our body and what we shouldn't. We ate very well. We never, cooked with, or we still don't like refined sugars, flours, anything like that. He and I were both were paleo, what we would call paleo eaters. And we were already doing vegan shakes. And we were both like huge gym goers, and we still were not able to get results. And for some reason, what we did in the past just wasn't working anymore. So we started with Isagenix, and I had no idea there was even an opportunity. Of course, we got great results. We fell in love with the products. And he immediately put the products in his office as a chiropractor. And of course, people were noticing the way that he looked. And so he would get signups. He calls himself in the beginning, he said he was a sponsor monster because he didn't know what to do. He would just sign somebody up and let them go. We didn't have any training, coaching, or any of that when we started with the product. So that's just kind of what we did for everybody else. So fast forward a year later, and I was not into the Isagenix business at all. I was very reluctant to tell anybody what I was doing. I'm kind of hard-headed and stubborn, and I'm not open to things at first. It takes me a while. And even some leaders on our team reached down and saw that Joe was trying to build a little bit of a business, so they helped him, and they very non-aggressively kind of pushed me along. It worked, even though I was a little bit apprehensive and still hard-headed, and I went to an event. So when you're talking about the event, that was where the game changed for me. And I had these people behind me now that believed in me, and then I went to this event and I saw these people on stage that Isagenix had changed their lives for so many different reasons than just physically. And so I found a why, and although it's evolved and changed over the years, it still pushes me and it drives me. So over the past 4 years, I've learned a lot, but I'm just going to share 2 important things and then just kind of go into some things that maybe you can take away and use on a daily basis. So first thing I learned, as my hillbilly dad says, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know what it would be, but for us, we didn't have a leader when we started. And all the people that we even started with at the time, they no longer build a business, really. They don't do much with Isagenix. So we're not financially linked. So you've heard people talk about, oh, I've had to build out both my sides. So like we could have used all of these excuses, and quit a long time ago, but we had to pave our own way. And we never had, somebody helping us. So we were doing it all. And we've had to figure out how to do this, and with not a whole lot of training, in the beginning. So here's the deal. I will train you or teach you one way to do things. And someone else is going to teach you or train you another way to do things. And a top leader in our company will show you another way to do things. And then like a seasoned network marketing person will show you another way to do things. So hence there's more than one way to skin a cat. So there will always be new ways. There will always be new models, new scripts, new ideas. There's so many different ways to build this business. Your mentor, whoever that is, can only tell you how they do it. And guess what? You can do it that way. You can put your own spin on it. You can do something completely different, pave your own path. There's so many different ways to build our business. So as an example, I had a team in Virginia that exploded 3 years ago, and they exploded on home parties. Home parties. I hate home parties. Like, they're just not my thing. And that's how they built. I have a girl here in South Carolina who is very uncomfortable doing cold reaches on social media. So she builds one-on-one. She goes out with a mission to meet people and make connections. She links up with them on Facebook. They meet for coffee. Inevitably, in some point of the friendship, Isagenix comes up. She gets them started, and she's created this great rapport with people. She builds very slowly. She builds relationships. It works for her. So you have to find what works for you. You have to be yourself. And if you're trying to be like someone else or to act like somebody else or, you know, do like somebody else, if it doesn't feel right, then you need to stop. Another example is I kind of stopped because I was kind of getting into this place. I was following top leaders in our company, and I was trying to do it the way they were doing it. Albeit successful, I was trying to do it, excuse me, I've been sick at our house. I was trying to do it the way that they were doing it. So I would take these pictures of myself, and then I would post these like long messages, and sometimes they didn't have anything to do with what my picture was about, but that's what they were doing, like this write up. And so if you do this, this is not a slam on you, because I did this as well. But as I was doing this, it never resonated with me at all. And of course, I still post a definite selfie every now and again. Who doesn't? But it never resonated with me. And I felt like I was being self-indulgent, and it didn't feel right. And so I switched it up, and I started adding more value within my posts, and not always a picture of me. So if I can say one more thing about that is, don't wait for your team to bring the training to you. You need to seek it out. There's so many resources today in our profession. My husband loves Ray Higdon. He is a member of Rank Makers, if you've ever heard of it. He swears by it, loves it. That's who we use for most of our training because that resonates with us. Tanya Eliza is another one that's big in network marketing. That's how we build because that resonates with us. So find something that resonates with you and follow it. Second thing is don't compare. So you're in this race right now to executive, and you see somebody that reaches it, or somebody that's maybe doing it less time than you, and they get there before you. So how many of you have ever read the book, The 4-Year Career? You guys read? Great book. I love it. So this is not a slam on it. It's an awesome book. But sometimes, present company included, we watch like the journey of other people, and we expect ours to take the same path. So you read The 4-Year Career, and you're like, I'm going to be a millionaire in 4 years, right? And but our path doesn't look like other people's. It's not going to. It will never look like somebody else's, so we can't expect it to. I've been doing Isagenix for 4 years. Technically, I should be a millionaire, right? Or because I have a partner, I probably should have gotten there in 2 years, but so I should have been a millionaire twice over, but I'm not. But it's not for me to judge and wonder, why I'm not there, or get easily caught up in their place, because we say like, when I get there I'll be this, or when I get there I'll do this, or if only I could be there. Why am I not there? They're already there, and they've been doing this less time than I have, and I'm not even there. So that what Casey always says, that comparison is a thief of joy, and it is so true. Don't do this. You'll get discouraged. You'll switch companies. You'll quit. You'll say it didn't work for me. So I always tell myself, put your blinders on and go. Don't worry about how fast or how slow. Especially with executive, I know there's a big push because, there's a date in mind. But I hope that you're enjoying the ride to get there. So I know, like I said, you feel like you're in a rush. And I'm going to say, don't be in a rush, because if you don't make it, it's not going to be a letdown, because guess what? You're just going to keep going. There is some great money to be made as a director as well. So make sure that when you're heading there, you enjoy the director's pools. You enjoy the executive pools. I think the executive pools, you can only stay there, is it 6 months? Is that right? And it's consecutive 6 months. So it's not like 6 months total. So when you get there to stay there. Don't get there to fall off immediately. So get there to stay there. I want to leave you with something practical too that you can take with you if you want to grow this business. And it's not rocket science. You have to work. You have to have your fingers on your phone. your fingers on the keyboard, and you have to work. Personally, I homeschool my kids. That is my full-time job. It takes a lot out of me. I'm in the kitchen for 3 meals a day, and I'm cooking, or I'm teaching a whole day. So I have to work in the pockets. I work, or after school, if we don't have outside activities, I devote 2 to 4 hours a day for Isagenix. When I'm in a big push, I do the same on the weekends, whatever I can give. So I think it's important that not only do you set weekly goals, but break it down to your day too, daily goals. And so when I achieve a goal that I've made for myself, maybe I'm only 2 hours into my day, I do ease up on myself a little bit. I don't want to put that much pressure. I've already hit the goal. Okay, I'm going to ease up. So have grace with yourself too. Build rapport with people and go for numbers when you're doing a big push. I go for numbers. I build rapport. It's kind of funny, in this town that we live in, we've been here, I guess 5 years now, and Joe and I are known as the Isagenix people, and it's a little beach town, and so that's really cool to us. We hear people like, I'm like, I hear Isagenix, because that's what we're known as, and I like that. And our big push right now, personally, is to build community. We have built globally on Facebook. We even have a team in Australia, Canada, and that's super cool. Business builders, we have product users all over, but our main focus right now is to build community. And so now, adding friends to Facebook locally and trying to build and establish a community. So don't forget that you have your own community, but you can build anywhere in the world, and that's super cool. So reach out to many people, asking them if they are open to taking a look at what you are so excited about. And that's exactly how I word it with people. I used to get really wordy and say, when I would send a message to somebody, I'd say, I help people whatever, lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight, get more energy, better performance in the gym, healthy age. I'd list like all the solutions. And then I'd look at my message and it was like this long, and it's no wonder they never responded to me. So now I simply ask them if possibly they've seen any of my health-related posts, and if they would be open to taking a look at what I'm so excited about. And that's really what I ask people. So be open to asking the question, are you open to looking at what I'm so excited about? So you're expanding your friends list, right? And right now I'm trying to downsize a little bit. If I've sent you a message just saying, let's follow each other, it's not my slam against you. It's just that I'm trying to gain more community here. So I'm trying to ease up some room. But literally when we do a push, I start with A in my Facebook list. If you look on your phone, it alphabetizes everybody. It doesn't do it from the computer, but start with A. And I have a message that I use that I like to switch up with a compliment. And because personally I'm looking for women and I'm looking for mamas with families that look like they're super fun, I almost always say the same compliment to somebody. For example, you look super fun and have an adorable family. And because that's usually true in a lot of the people that I'm kind of seeking out. So one thing that I also say to people in those messages is that I see your name pop up in my news feed, and you look this and this. And again, like I said, I asked them if they've seen any of my health-related posts and if they would be open to taking a look at what I'm so excited about. Also, do acknowledge birthdays privately. Start the algorithm going with a private message. Pour love into random people, your team, and random people, and follow up with people. This is a great week for follow-up because of this awesome promotion. Another bit of advice, keep awesome notes for yourself. Know what videos you've sent to whom and on what date. Know all of your prospects' goals so you can revisit them and remind them what they were once looking for. Also, do big pushes for enrolling. I usually do at least 3 big pushes a year for enrolling, sometimes more. Maya and I just finished a big push and we're going again, right, like back to back, right, Maya? Because we were so like just on a path. If you've never done Eric Worre's 20 and 30 people, that's what we push for usually. This past month, I hit 10 instead of my 20, but 10 and 30, and I have done a 20 and 30 before, but with my husband when we put our people together. So do those big pushes. I pride myself in enrolling. Enrolling is my specialty. I rarely get price objections. However, I start people where they are. I don't get hung up on packs. I don't get hung up on PIBs. The people that start with products, excuse me, are usually ones that come back for more and more and more. Some of my best stories are from those people. And I always tell them about all the other products that Isagenix has to offer along the way so they can get their best experience. A couple more just words of advice. Be excited about residual income and helping your team get cycles. Be excited. Get really excited about that. And find and create Facebook posts. They're going to get lots of discussions and likes because that is where your conversation starts. Once somebody gets started, bring up the money right away, whether it's for accountability, whether it's for rebates, whatever it is. I found that personally, I send them a video. I have their name at the top. I draw circles and I say, Melina, this is you. You know, if you find 2 people, I usually do it based on the pack that they've gotten started with. And I send that video immediately. So show people that money right at the beginning. It's super important that they know that they have this opportunity as well. Let's see what else. Let's see. Cleanse coach, of course, cleanse coach people because I wasn't, and I know it's important. We did it so wrong when we started Isagenix. If you've ever heard my story, Joe and I did snack wafers for snacks, for every snack, and wondered why we were so hungry and why we had half a bottle left after I don't know, 7 days. It was ridiculous. We were so hungry. Use the HIA page in whatever capacity works for you. There's not one way, wrong way, or right way to use the page. I love our HIA page. I don't let it do the work for me. Personally, I add people after I've gotten them started, and occasionally somebody who's still trying to take a look, but use it however you want it to use it. It can be your storefront. It can be your product coaching. It can be whatever you want it to be. So use it. So basically, just to end, because I'm sure I've gone over, building a business takes work. And this is a business that you have come into. And you have to constantly be asking people to take a look. If you're serious about working this business, you have to ask. You cannot just post something that you think is really good and then pray and wait for somebody to reach out and ask you what you're doing. That might work in the beginning, but it will not sustain. Your business isn't going to build that way. So just a couple little notes as my mouth gets dry and I've talked too much. Just some food for thought to kind of propel you through the last part of your push is allow possibility to feed your soul. What do you believe in? Do you believe in possibilities? Absolutely, you believe in possibilities. Let it feed your soul. Embrace failure alongside success, kind of what Melina was saying earlier. You're going to, it's they talk about that failing forward. Embrace the failure because what Mai said, we're learning. You're either going to learn or you're going to learn or you're going to learn. So embrace that. And know what questions to ask people and don't be afraid of their answers. For so long, I was afraid to ask the right questions because I was even afraid they were going to tell me yes, and then I had no idea what I was going to say to them. So know what questions to ask. Don't be afraid of their answers, and don't wait for somebody to give you permission. Melina said this to me, and she probably doesn't even remember. She said this to me before. You don't need permission to even build your business. Don't need permission to even ask somebody if they want to take a look. You don't need to wait for permission. Offer. Just offer. Don't wait. And that's all I have is I got a dry mouth and talk too much.
Thank you, Shanna. Oh my gosh, thank you. You are an incredible, incredible leader, and we're just so blessed to have you. And, everybody heard exactly what they needed to hear tonight. I know that for sure. You guys, so thank you so much to Shanna. You guys, let's give her some love in the chat for sure. You guys, so gosh, I'm I don't want to get off the Zoom because this is our last class. I'm getting all sad. But, oh my gosh, we couldn't have had a better speaker tonight and a better share. And you guys, the one thing I just want to leave with you is love and, vibration of peace and, just love where you're at, and be so happy and grateful for what Isagenix is doing for you right now. And like I said, my one of my biggest takeaways, is from GoPro is the fact that I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for Stephanie enrolling me and me growing this business, and that is true, Shanna. You guys, you don't need anybody's permission. to build your business the way that you want to build your business, to do this how it feels good to you. That is so real and so raw. Learn and grow from other people, but do you and be authentic. And it's got to feel good. It's got to feel good the way that you're doing it and the way that you're growing and, helping your people, but I am here, you guys, to serve you in any way. So please reach out whenever you need to. And, we're going to unmute and we're going to say one last time, I am an executive, and as you guys make this final push this week, do the do. I mean, she just said it. Like, you can't sit there and just will that you're an executive. You have to do the work. I live by the scripture, faith without works is dead. You can't just sit there in this moment of fear and be like, oh my God, nothing's happening when you're not doing anything. You got to do the work and you got to grind it out, so whatever happens this week, April 14th is going to come and go. And you are an executive because it's a state of mind, so don't live by, whatever happens this week. Shanna just said it, literally go for it. The possibility of executive is there. So why not? Let's reach it. Let's just reach it. Let's do it. I'm going for it, and like Caitlin said, I'm going to die on that hill with anybody who wants to go with me. So let's do this. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and hold on. Let me go back into grid mode and let's all unmute. Woohoo! Glenn's telling me to be quiet, but whatever. All right. And on the count of 3, we're going to say, I am an executive, you guys. Get the affirmation all over your house. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I am. Woo! All right, you guys. So much love to you. So much love to you. And I can't wait till we get to do this again. And I can't wait to see you guys all. And I'm going to ICU Vegas. So who's going with me? And I'm sure I'll meet most of you in person in celebration. That's where we're going. We're all going. Woo! All right, you guys. So much love. Bye.